Hi, I'm Kim, and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse escape, get out and stay out once and for all without getting drawn back into that never-ending, relentless cycle of crap. It's never going to get any better. It's never changing. Statistics show that through therapy, narcissists tend to become worse, and they most certainly become worse with age. So, in my opinion, you need to get out of there. Narcissistic personality disorder is a very significant form of mental disturbance. You're dealing with someone who suffers from mental illness, and I think part of the real stumbling block to understanding what's happening is we end up with victims who are sane, well-adjusted, critically thinking people trying to make sense of total insanity. Rest assured, the things you're seeing, the way you're feeling, the things you're hearing, these things are real. Despite the fact your narcissist has been really gaslighting you in an attempt to create in you a sense of self-doubt, where you start to question how you feel, the things you're seeing, the things you're hearing. I mean, I would see things and straight up tell me I was crazy. It didn't happen. One of the most prevalent problems when in a relationship with a narcissist is you simply cannot believe one single word that comes out of their mouth. Their entire system is built around lying because they are so self-loathing, self-hating, and live in such a shame-based reality that it is their sole ambition to hide who they really are from the world. So the lying helps them to build that fake facade, create that false image, get that mask on. And as we know, mask will slip from time to time, but the constant building and development and preservation of the mask is of paramount importance to them. So narcissists are chronic habitual liars. You cannot believe one word that comes out of their mouths ever. Sadly, a question that comes up over and over again is, does my narcissist love me? Now, NPD causes the sufferer of this horrible mental illness to be completely detached from human emotion. They may have wanted to love you, they may have tried to love you, but truly in the end, they have no capacity to love you. They have no capacity to love their children or their mothers. This is simply not an emotion that they can reach. And there is no amount of love that you can dump on them. There is no amount of compassion or empathy that you can, throw in their direction that will ever change that. They're simply incapable of love. From the early onset of your involvement with the narcissist, and I mean from the second they laid eyes on you, it was never their intention to be in a relationship with you. What had happened from the second they laid eyes on you became a predator-victim game, where we've got the predator, you're their new victim, and they're watching you and they're stalking you and they're finding out where your weaknesses and vulnerabilities are. And they are going to be targeting people that they believe offer them the most narcissistic. They never wanted to be in a relationship with you. It was always a game, a manipulation, a system of control. They were not trying to get in a relationship with you. They were baiting, hooking, and capturing you and taking you as their next victim and source of narcissistic supply. Initially, you've been taken hostage by a predator. But you do not have to remain a hostage. Now, I know they've beat you down, broken you down, called you names. You're now questioning all of your thoughts. You're questioning the things you see and hear because they have controlled and manipulated and programmed you to do that. But predator is not your friend. They're the enemy. And if you don't step up and become a good friend to yourself and realize, this bizarre thought that there's one special love out there for you is ridiculous. There's 8 billion people on this planet and a lot of really wonderful people. You do not have to stay in this. If you continue to stay in this, he's no longer keeping you hostage. You're keeping yourself hostage. Because the narcissist believes that they are always right, they know more than anyone else, they are superior in many ways, and of course this is very conflicting with the fact that they have zero self-esteem and no ability to love or nurture themselves. So it really becomes very conflicting. They're extremely broken individuals who have created a mask to appear to be superior. So one of the techniques that the narcissist will often do is you will fall out of favor because you've challenged them or questioned them or brought attention to some inept, insane thing that they've done or something very. And what they will do as punishment to you is then inflict you with emotional abandonment. Now they don't want to talk to you. Now they're giving you the silent treatment. Now you're getting the cold shoulder. I would reach out to put my hand on my narc's hand. Now, this is a middle-aged man who would, whip his hand away like, ugh, you don't deserve to touch me today. Well, honestly, I don't want to touch that worm ever. And I hate to even use the word worm because I'm a micro worm farmer and I really like worms, and worms are very valuable. The narcissist, not so much. This is a really good time for you to get still, get calm, let your emotions settle, and draw yourself back in so you can really see this situation for what it is. And truly know in your heart that no matter how confused they have caused you to become through gaslighting, control, manipulation, and domination over your soul and your mind, they're all consuming. You have an opportunity now to really look at this and make a decision. What is your life worth? I mean, do you not deserve better than this? I know absolutely and certainly that I deserve so much better than this. Though I still have a lot of personal work to do, it would ultimately be my goal, as a woman, to find a real man and to have a real relationship. This is not a relationship with your narcissist. This is not a human connection. This is trauma bond, and absolutely nothing but trauma bond. Stockholm syndrome, narcissistic abuse syndrome. You're in a bad situation and you need to get out of there so you can have a wonderful life with a beautiful person. This chronic cheating thing, oh, it's real. Now, my partner had cheated throughout the entire relationship to the point that he was, of course, blaming me for it. It was something I had done that caused him to be so disloyal and so untrustworthy. My partner had cheated to the point that he had just begun to look like a bucket of VD to me. I mean, just dirty, filthy, toxic, poisoned individual wanted to touch with rubber gloves and a hazmat suit on. I mean, just absolutely disgusting, deplorable, absolutely no sense of self or no integrity, no morality, nothing, just a dead, empty vessel that truly made me sick to look at. My narcissist is extremely ill. I watched a video when I first really started to suspect there was something gravely wrong. And the video was called 50 Signs That Your Partner is a Narcissist. Now, at the beginning of the video, they explain that if your partner has 10 of these traits, possibly they're a narcissist. Now, as this video is progressing, I can feel this absolute sense of dread coming up in me. My partner didn't have 10, not 20, not 30, all 50 in spades. It was absolutely, I knew for certain that I was dealing with an excessively ill individual. Now, because my partner would quite often go to the shallow end of the pool to find, narcissistic supply sex, he would sometimes, break out in open sores, all around his groin area. And, of course, this was repelling to me, but he would still be like walking around and being the man, like this condition was okay. And wow, because their self-image is so twisted and so distorted that even with a crotch full of festering sores, he still thought he was sexy or the man. Meanwhile, I'm throwing up in my mouth, and yeah, no, I mean their sense of self-image is so twisted that even sores they can think they're okay. Now, after years of the mask slipping back and forth, I really was confronted with the fact that I was dealing with someone who was mentally ill, had no capacity to love me, was never going to miss me if I left, would have me replaced immediately by whatever form of narcissistic supply he could drudge up, at the moment. There was no relationship there, and constant cheat, constant liar, gambler, alcoholic, I mean, all kinds of, strange behaviors. And now all of a sudden, despite the fact he's walking around like he's all the man, now I'm confronted with, open sores on his crotch guy, and this does not waver his facade, this fake facade. He's all good with this. I'm just saying, if I was walking around with a crotch full of open sores, I'd be running for medical treatment, not thinking I was, all cool. When you start to realize what you're actually dealing with and you start to pull yourself back in and consider who you really are, I had to look at the very real facts that I'm a good person. I have lots of skills and talents, and I have a genuine connection to humanity. I'm an activist, I'm a philanthropist, I'm a writer. I was very largely connected to my community's art scene and, well-respected artist myself. And when you start to consider, all of those wonderful attributes that you have, you really quickly realize why this loser glommed onto you. You offered a lot of supply, and I'm not going to be, infected crotch guy's supply. I'm just not. I had to come to a point where I said, with some healing, I'm going to be able to go on to meet a real man, have a wonderful man in my life, and have a normal, sane life where there's human exchange and, emotional connection. I'm not living in a perpetual state of trauma bond with a complete loser. Now, if your narc's mask has been slipping as my narcs did, you've started to get a glimpse of who they really are. The reality is you're dealing with a horrible individual. You deserve so much more than this, and I hope that you'll visit my channel. We're loading videos daily, and lots of good information that's going to help you get free. I certainly hope that you'll stop by my channel, subscribe if you like, and certainly leave comments. Any comments that you have, any questions, any concerns, if left in the comment box, I will certainly address them in the next video. Be safe, get the hell out of there. What are you doing, sister? You're fabulous. You don't need this shit.